Hi everyone, Boomer Debunks here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the NASA photograph from 1968 from Apollo 8 titled Earthrise. Now this photo is often used by moon landing deniers as some sort of proof of NASA's manipulation of photographs and they claim CGI, even though CGI didn't exist back then. It was optical effects or forced perspective with matte paintings. So they claim because somebody took like a really heavily compressed, heavily pixelated JPEG off the internet, and that's been leveled and contrast corrected and all of that to prove, and they turn it inside out and invert it and put it all kinds of histograms to show that it's been manipulated. But the fact is, let's take the actual raw photograph from the NASA Flickr site and put it in Photoshop and see if that's actually true. So I'm going to download the photograph, original, 4,000 pixels across, giant photo. I'm going to bring it in here to Photoshop, and let's zoom in and take a look at the pixel density and the gradient from the Earth into the black and see if there's a change in pixel density or graininess of the photograph. There obviously will be some JPEG compression because I'm not working with the actual raw TIFF file. You can see a little bit of JPEG compression there. But there is no evidence, at least on the surface, that this photograph's been tampered. In fact, there's a little bit of green in a lot of the black here. So this photograph has not been color corrected in any way. Because this is the raw, I think they did 2500 DPI scan from the original 70mm Hasselbald films. So let's take it in, let's invert it, and zoom in here, and take a look. If there's a change in gradation from the Earth into the blackness of space, let's zoom in right into the pixels. We can see pixel by pixel here. We'll scrub over to the edge. There we go, and you can see the nice gradient fall off of light into the dark, which is now white because it's inverted. Right there. No evidence of being inserted, or this is being a composite photograph of, say, a model of the Earth lit with, a model of the moon or something like that. There's no manipulation here. If we go into the back side of the Earth here, you can see the nice gradient fall off into the darkness. No sharp edges. No obvious means of manipulation or compositing whatsoever. Now let's go through some various blend modes in Photoshop here and take a look at it in different ways. And see if different blend modes can expose any sort of manipulation. Again, no change in pixel density, no change in compression ratios. The compression and digital noise is the same. Nothing at all here. Nothing has changed. Here is where you would see some manipulation. When you invert it and then do the various blend modes, they would expose some manipulation. And you can see here there is nothing. The photo remains the same. Now that little bit of corona there around the edge of the Earth, that's just the light. The sort of the corona, or the reflection of the light going into space. So you get that kind of little haloing effect. You notice how it's not on the right or the dark side of the Earth as it blends into the darkness of space. This photo is not a composite. This photo has not been manipulated digitally in any way. What this photo is exactly what the camera saw, the Hasselblad saw in 70mm. Now, normally in print, you see this photograph sort of turned 90 degrees to the right, so that the moon's surface is horizontal across the bottom of the page, bottom of the photograph, and the Earth is sort of with its light side straight up, pointing up. But this is that's basically for print, so it looks nice in print. But this is the actual photograph taken by Apollo 8 as they rounded the moon and got Earth coming up over the edge of the surface of the moon. This is its actual angle, with the sort of moon sort of surface on the right and the Earth there on the left. So when they show you photographs, when the moon landing deniers use a photograph where the lunar surface is horizontal across the bottom, they are using a manipulated photograph to prove that it's manipulated, because that photograph has obviously been turned. It's probably been color corrected. It's probably been contrast corrected, levels corrected, histogram corrected, so that it prints well. Because this photograph was actually on like magazine covers and things like that, and they will do some manipulation so that it prints properly. This photograph like this wouldn't look that great in print on the cover of a magazine. So they turn it, they darken it, they do all kinds of stuff. And then when you get a copy of a copy of a copy on the internet and you get this heavily degraded JPEG version, yes, you're going to see this kind of weird jump from the Earth to the blackness, and you're going to see weird outlines and stuff because the photo has been manipulated. But the unedited Hasselblad print shows no evidence of manipulation whatsoever. So this is what the Hasselblad camera saw from Apollo 8.